Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Hot Takes podcast. Joining me, we have Michael and Christian as usual. So, today we're going to be revisiting a fairly recent episode where we gave Michael some recommendations for what's going on in the summer season and what we think he should watch. We did that episode in the middle of the season, so many shows were on episode 5 or 6. Now that the season is more or less over, we're kind of revisiting those recommendations. And, do we still recommend these to Michael? So I'm going to go ahead and start with, I honestly don't remember the order in which I presented these to you, but I'm going to start with the Water Magician here, which... Yeah, I think you were intrigued by the idea of that show, at least as I described it.
Yes, that is correct. I remember thinking that is an interesting topic.
Yeah, really interesting topic for sure.
So, as a reminder, at the time it was kind of like it's a isekai, but it's straying away from a lot of the tropes. You don't have the typical harem of girls. The main character is still overpowered, but they're also kind of like avoiding the plot. And there was kind of a lot of world building going on. The show never quite managed to move past some of these things. Yeah, that's putting it lightly. Basically, this is the ultimate. We've talked many times about how anime is basically a marketing vehicle for its source material. There's already kind of a built-in audience. You're looking to expand that audience. Is a pretty safe bet in terms of producing anime, and it pays off, for the original publishing. And this is the ultimate example of that, where they're giving you just a little bit that you're interested. But very much it's go read the light novels if you actually want anything to happen. So, yeah, basically I don't recommend this show anymore because I would say if it sounded interesting to you, just go to the light novels.
Just go read the books.
Just go read the books, yeah.
So different from last time we talked about it, I actually, on Nick's sterling recommendation, picked up the show for the season and watched it all the way through. And Michael, I know you said that you don't like shows that don't have a story. Stay the fuck away from this one, then. You'd hate the show.
I can do that. I can do that.
Yeah.
There's the smallest little sprinkling of a story that they put in there sometimes. And then other episodes are just fucking around for a whole episode.
It might have been 11, it's 12 episodes, was literally a flashback dedicated to a character that you met one episode before.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
The entire episode was just a backstory, and none of it came back. Because the next episode is the finale. It was just bizarre. It's they were how can we avoid getting to anything more interesting? Random backstory.
Also, after watching it, Nick, I will push back more strongly against your take that it's less tropey of an isekai. It's not every isekai, believe it or not, has the harem of girls. Some it's 50-50, I'll give you, but there's so many other shit that's just oh yes, it's the classic overpowered isekai character just doing whatever the fuck they want because no one else is even close to them.
Here's a good question for you, Christian. As the resident isekai man that you are.
I'm glad you didn't call me a fan. I appreciate that.
Would you put this as better or worse than the gold standard, Mushoku Tensei?
I was gonna say, I swear to God, if you ask me about Mushoku Tensei, dude, I'd rather watch this show 10 times than watch the first 3 episodes of Mushoku Tensei again.
Mushoku Tensei will make it into every podcast.
We found a way to move away from me mentioning Kaguya-sama every episode, but now we're just talking about Mushoku Tensei.
It's just us.
It is now Mushoku Tensei, which is funny because Christian and I both hate it.
I despise that show, dude. It's so bad.
Well, Christian, how were things on your end?
All right, what will I start off with? I'll start off with Kaiju number 8, mostly because at the time of the recording, the season hasn't quite wrapped up yet. We're an episode or 2 away. It started late for some reason, so it is finishing late, as it goes. That show still holds up. I mean, it was the second season of the show, so wasn't a lot unexpected to be happening. But I mean, it's been really solid. They've been doing a lot of character development. They're building up some of the other characters to take more of a part in the story and the action. And then some of the action scenes that have happened already have been really cool. The most recent episode, we're like building up to the big action finale of the show, and it's like gonna be awesome. I'm so excited to watch it. So definitely give that a shot.
Well, that one was one of the ones on my list as well, and I probably will watch it at some point because of the bet that you and I basically made. Did you ever follow through on your end?
I don't remember the bet. Can you remind me of that?
You were supposed to watch a show on Netflix for me.
Oh yeah, I'll watch that show. I'm gonna watch it next week when I'm on the plane.
You're gonna watch the entire show while you're on the plane.
Dude, it's a 20-hour flight, man. Of course, yeah. Yeah,
I'm gonna watch.
I'm gonna watch the whole show while I'm on the plane.
Oh my god.
That's enough time to watch the whole show, get a good night's sleep in, and have your meals and everything. I mean, it's a full day basically. So.
Basically.
Yeah.
So we've got one watch it and one don't watch it so far.
Not only is it a don't watch it, but I've also jumped on board to say don't watch it.
Yeah. We've fallen from high.
You know what is an even better reasoning for not watching Water Magician? It's just like, it has potential, right? It could be cool, but it's so unbelievably disappointing in the way it handles almost every episode from after the first 5. So it's just like, yeah, you're just gonna be like hating yourself for a few days if you watch that show.
I'm noticing a theme that Christian really hates this show.
It's not even my most hated show of the season.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah, you'll have to.
Is it another Nick's recommendation?
No, that was the only one I watched on Nick's recommendation.
Yeah, Christian doesn't actually listen to my recommendations.
It's true, I don't.
So Nick doesn't listen to mine. Christian doesn't listen to Nick's. I don't listen to Christian. Perfect.
Well, we'll go on to my next show, which was really more a pitch for the series of Rascal Does Not Dream. The second season was airing in the summer, and the thing is, at this point, we've had the first season, we've had 3 movies, and now the second season. Like, at this point, you kind of know whether you like the show or not anyway. So, like, for me, it was like, oh, great, this is, delivering more of what I liked about the show, while also still offering enough changes to keep it interesting. So before, everything was they were in high school. Now they're in university, they're a little more mature, that changes things. There's some new dynamics with mainly new characters that arise from that as well. The main character is a tutor at a cram school or something like that. So he has students of his own. And then we also just have, in terms of, again, this is kind of adding these kind of weird sci-fi paranormal things to like real problems that people would be having as they grow up. One criticism of like kind of the high school arcs is that they kind of fall back into repeating some things, more or less. Like the cause is different, but the effect is the same. Here we get it, new causes, new effects. There's a bit more of a change in what's going on. So you're not just like, oh, well, it's this arc all over again, basically. Or the solution is going to be the same. So again, I think that this is a good show or series. And the second season managed to, live up to those expectations that have been set by what's been going on previously.
Nice. I didn't actually watch it this season for some reason, so maybe I will now.
Yeah, they are actually, one other benefit is I assume it's going to be done as a movie or maybe as like a 2-part special or something, because there's not that much left to adapt. But they have confirmed that they're finishing out the adaptation. So that'll also be nice that even though the series has been done for like in written form for however many years now, to also see the anime adaptation actually finished, which is something you don't always get.
You would know all about that, huh, Mr. Yuri
Yeah.
on Ice?
Shout out to when Nick killed Yuri on Ice personally.
Yeah, you know, I am glad that I didn't curse the show by talking about it. And I'm just saying, you know what? We only have like what would amount to like 2 hours of content left to adapt, but we're just not gonna do it.
You mean the Kaguya-sama treatment?
Yeah, I mean, Kaguya-sama, we are getting a ending. It seems, based on what little we know, which is basically the title and the poster, like they're just gonna skip to the end. So we're skipping, you know, like 120 chapters worth of stuff, but who cares?
It'll be fine.
Go read the manga, you know, it's excellent. I do still look forward to seeing how they finish off the anime here. It's also kind of funny that one of the things that inspired Kaguya-sama is School Rumble, which ran for 2 seasons, and then they dropped 2 episodes that skipped to the end. And they also never dubbed it. I was watching the dub, so I had to switch to the sub. And they actually do like 2-3 minutes recapping all the chapters they skipped, except like you can't do it. And then you have no idea just what's going on. It's just really bad. The ending is bad. To be fair, most people actually say that the manga also dropped off at the point that they stopped adapting anyway, so maybe it's for the better. This is all to say, if you ever watch School Rumble, don't watch past the second season, don't watch those last 2 episodes they did, just come up with your own ending, or leave it at that ending. You know?
Sorry, I got distracted for a minute. Is this just a massive Kaguya-sama tangent?
No, I mean, well, yes and
Yes.
no. It's a tangent to my tangent. Let's go back to Christian before I keep talking about Kaguya-sama.
Nick was insulted.
Listeners at home, we've been recording for quite some time, so it was bound to happen. This is our second episode of the day. It was bound to be a 20-minute tangent.
Nick was insulted by the idea that we replaced his mandatory Kaguya-sama mention with the Mushoku Tensei hate, so he had to bring it up.
So the moral of the story, though, Rascal dreams. I will not
Rascal
be watching.
does not dream.
Rascal
Yeah, I don't think you were that.
doesn't dream, whatever he does.
Yeah, I don't think you were that interested. But for anyone else,
maybe
if
I'll
you've
watch
never watched, watch it. And if you know,
Well,
especially because they, well, yes. Start from the beginning, and now they finally made all of the movies available to stream after all these years. So now you can also be aware that they exist, because for the longest time, at least in the West, they only did the Blu-ray release. So I didn't actually know that things continued past the first season for the longest time either. So now everything's available. They're finishing out the adaptation. Go watch it.
Okay, good. What the fuck was my other shows? Oh yeah. Second show. I don't know if it was second in the previous podcast, but it is second in this podcast, and that's what matters, you know. But second show was Clevatess, which I feel like you weren't as interested in this one, Michael. Not a huge like dark fantasy fan.
I love dark fantasy. I don't like it in anime all that much.
Fascinating.
I
Like-
when we talked about it, I said the same thing, that I love dark fantasy.
I'm caught up on this, so it's confusing to me how you have no interest in the show whatsoever. But you're like, yeah.
You
I'm a
heard
huge
it.
dark
You heard it
fantasy
here
fan.
first, folks. Christian doesn't listen to me.
It's true. I thought we just
I feel like
established
that's the podcast description is three guys talking and none of them listen to each other, you know.
And our opinions vary wildly day by day.
But yeah, if you ever get over your dislike of anime, Michael, in order to watch dark fantasy anime.
That's not what I said.
Again, we don't listen to each other.
Michael, you see what happens when you say something is it goes through my head and then it goes through the Michael interpreter where I disregard what you have said and I come up with a better thing for you to have said and I pretend that's what you said.
Oh my.
So when you say I don't like dark fantasy anime, but I like dark fantasy, I hear I hate anime. But I like dark fantasy.
So you're doing the waffles versus pancakes thing.
I'm not familiar with that, but sure.
Basically, somebody tweeted out that they don't like pancakes, and then somebody else said, "So you hate waffles?" And somebody responded and said, "That's just a different statement."
Yeah,
that's
that
what
sounds
you're
about right.
doing to
Yeah,
me.
no, that sounds about right. Yeah, no, for sure. But anyways, like I said, if you get over your fear of anime, this is like this.
I'm gonna come to your condo and kill you.
Anyway, this show absolutely followed through. It was a really interesting plot the whole way through, and the action at the end was so good. It was like some peak dark fantasy action. Really good sword fights, bunch of bullshit, crazy abilities and such. It was a good time. So yeah, like I said, if you get over your fear, this is a good one. It doesn't like
My
clap
fear of
at the end.
anime that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I actually might check it out if you think it's really good, because I do like anime and dark fantasy. I just don't usually like them together.
No, it was an awesome show. I recommended it to another friend, and they like just finished it, and we're like, holy shit, dude, that was really good. So, one hit already. Maybe you'll enjoy it as well. I feel pretty confident about it.
I feel I now have to explain myself because you've now put this out into the world.
I've asked our audience.
The reason that I don't like dark fantasy anime usually is because I feel like the adaptations are either super weird or super slow for dark fantasy anime. I feel like there's a lot of like weird ones where a lot of like weird nonsense happens in the middle of the show randomly, or it just takes like a show that could be like 12 episodes and extends it to be like 40 to build suspense, but doesn't add any any substance to it.
Okay,
I feel like that's a very common theme for dark fantasy.
I can work with that. Like that makes sense. I see that, but I do think this show does a pretty good job. Like, there are some weird stuff, like there's some weird stuff as is tradition with the dark fantasy, but it's not like overwhelming and it's not that bad. But and then I thought the show was paced really well. You move through it pretty fast. You get the show at the start establishes kind of a destination for them to reach, and they do get there at the end of the season, while still having like much more of the world and the story that's left to be explored in the future potentially.
You know what other show does that really well?
What? Is it Apothecary Diaries?
Kaguya-sama.
Oh, okay. My bad, I got the wrong one.
Actually, though, we could spend another 20 minutes talking about how Nick's wrong about Apothecary Diaries.
I'm all for talking about more of how Nick is wrong. But maybe we should hear how he is right with his third show, which surely panned out for him.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. So The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, I think, was the show that I most recommended to you. And this is pure romance show through and through. That is what the show is about. And it's fantastic. I was traveling, so I couldn't watch the finale as it came out. I had to watch it after I came back, which is fine for you because it's still releasing on Netflix right now. I talked about the bullshit there. But this show, it's honestly hard to say, just everything that I liked about it. I mean, really, it has fantastic characters in primarily its leads. The surrounding cast don't get as much time. It is only 13 episodes that we have so far, but there is enough depth given to them that you can see how if they continue this adaptation or if you decide to pick up the manga, that there is like something to work with there. And in terms of, you know, kind of the original premise here of a guy who's going to like an all-guy school where it's basically like this is the last resort. Like these are all supposed to be like troublemakers, and then we have a girl who goes to the school next door, which is this like elite all-girls academy. You know, you might be thinking it's just kind of your Romeo and Juliet situation. Really, we just have instead a lot of great moments about recognizing assumptions made on both sides, you know, about like who is the other person. And, you know, also from the surrounding cast. And those assumptions being kind of proven wrong. So the characters have a lot of depth. Those interactions are also just very like kind of sweet, wholesome. You see this romance coming to fruition between the two. And yeah, really, I mean, this was just a absolutely fantastic rom-com show. High praises from me. I will probably be checking out the manga for this one because I don't want to wait for if there is a continuation or not. Nothing's been announced.
So impatient.
I know.
So we talked about this, Christian.
No, this is, yeah, I think very easily could be one of my favorite romance shows or series of all time. And that's just going off the first season. Like, really, it did so many things just right. I will be disappointed if you don't follow up on this recommendation from me.
So I will watch the Fragrant Flower Blooms in April, or whatever the fuck the name of the show is.
So you're gonna watch it in April? It's giving it a lot of time to breathe, huh?
I don't know why I can never remember the name of this show.
It's so weird.
Honestly, like several times since then.
I honestly don't know where the title comes from, and it's it is perhaps the only fault with this show. I assume that it maybe relates to like the characters' names in some way, like it's some play on their names, maybe, but
doesn't feel like that.
It doesn't translate well, and yeah, I don't know. That if I'm gonna give a criticism to the show, that's it. It's the title is
bad name. Not watching it.
New standard. New standard.
It's ironic you say that, Christian.
I'll never watch another show again. All my light novel adaptations gone.
Interesting. I will definitely be checking that one out because I have heard from you and somebody else that I know that it's really good. So I will be checking it out once it is. I'll probably just wait till it's done airing.
I mean, since someone else other than Nick recommended, maybe I'll watch it too.
Yeah.
Well, and also because I think it's fun to make fun of the name because I can never remember the name.
Yeah. If you ever write a review on the website about it, you know, it's just gonna have like. Not at all the correct title. You know?
You can copy.
I'm just gonna say the fragrant ...
My name
yeah.
What did I call the review for that one show? The fucking blah blah.
Blah blah. I hate my wife. Yeah. It's one of the shows you watched 8 episodes of, and there's only 12. You know, you could have just finished it.
It's in my dropper.
You shouldn't.
No, that's in my dropper. That's what you expect from me. We're not getting.
Yeah, it's not what you expect from Nick, because Nick just drops things willy-nilly for no reason.
Yeah. I drop them right as they're about to get good. I can tell that in like an episode or two,
you got
that's
that
when
Spidey
it gets
sense.
Good, and I gotta leave.
I can't be around for a good show.
All right, let me get into my third show then. So the last show, of course, was that I recommended was City, and of course I did finish City, and it was amazing. And I think last time, Michael, I just begged you to watch it. Like I just was like, Michael, please. I don't have any logic. I don't have any reasons. Just watch it. This time, maybe I have a little bit more to work with now. I know. You know, based on you have the 7 in Nichijou, sad, but I know you don't like lack of story stuff. But if you gave Nichijou a 7, you're clearly at least somewhat enjoyed the that style of comedy, and so
Yeah.
and this city does have a little bit more of a plot put together in it.
Okay.
There's more things happening. There's more for progression, and honestly, some of it is really good. The last episode featured some fairly emotional scenes between some characters that I really enjoyed. It also featured a long musical number, which I thought was hilarious.
I'm a big fan of long musical numbers.
Yeah, this last episode was hilarious. But like truly this show has some of the most like off the wall creative episodes that like are just completely ridiculous and so fun and so funny to watch. They do stuff with the episodes that just like you'd never expect. So it's a good time.
Piggyback here like I did last time, and also recommend the show. I mean, yeah, really the show is very good, and for me, it's hard not to compare it to Nichijou, but I do think that the show very much does like stand on its own and it separates itself. It's not more Nichijou. It is, a lot of the same elements, but certainly combined into something that, like Christian said, is there's a bit more progression, there's a bit more story, there's a bit more like, I guess things happen and progress rather than just it's a series of sketches kind of
A little less
together.
episodic.
It's the same like
Yeah.
style of show and style of comedy as Nichijou, but it really stands on its own. And this is a show that I really see as like a very artistic work.
Okay. So, and I will say, I enjoyed Nichijou. Like, if I give a show a 7, that means I would recommend it to people. Like, it's not a show that I'm saying stop what you're watching to watch this now, but it is a show that I'm saying, hey, put this towards the top of your list. It's really good. Like, I really enjoyed Nichijou. And the only reason it's a 7 and not an 8 is because I thought the second half of Nichijou wasn't as good as the first half. That was the only reason. I thought the first 12 or so episodes of Nichijou were fantastic, and I loved it for what it was. And then it just kind of kept going. I wish it evolved a little bit, basically, is what I'm saying.
That's really interesting.
I guess
because
so.
to me, the second half of Nichijou is actually more plot based because you have, what's her name?
Yeah, don't
she
forget the
starts going
character.
to school.
It's
Yeah,
Nano.
Yeah.
Nano. I'm like, I know it's something like
dare you,
that.
Nick, I'll never forgive you.
No, so Nano like starts going to school, and they have like the whole just kind of like her being integrated into like the friend group and everything. Like that is, to me, then more of what you like in terms of a plot happening. So it's kind of interesting that you don't think the second half is a change and you don't like it as much as the first half.
So I do think it's a change, and it's not that I don't like it as much. I think just the kind of sketch comediness of it, I wish it had either just been the sketch comedy, like just keep being that and don't do any plot, or I wish it did more plot. It fell into like the uncanny valley for me, if that makes sense. And again,
No, that doesn't
still
make sense at
good.
all. Sorry.
Thank you, Christian.
I straight up don't understand what you mean.
Basically,
by
what I'm saying is, I would have liked a full plot, or just keep doing the sketch and don't do any plot at all.
I really did not see or did not feel much of a difference between the first part of the first half of Nichijou and the second half. They're sure they like shuffled some pieces around and like set up for different sketches and different bits, but like it's very true to itself all the way through.
So, and if you look back, because I don't think I ever posted a review on Nichijou, but if Nick were to look back in our other Discord to my initial take, I actually had the opposite take. I said I liked the second half better. But
So
as
you clearly
I kind
just
of,
don't know what you're talking about.
So what I'm saying is, as I look back on the show now, I had more enjoyment from the first half of the season, like the first half of the show, than I did from the second half.
No, we can't talk about this anymore. I don't understand what you're saying.
I don't know how to make it any more clear that I liked the first half of Nichijou better than the second half.
Well, then you said though that was clear until you retracted that and said when I first watched it, I liked the second half better.
When I first watched it, I thought I liked the second half better. I'm saying now that, like, looking back on the show, I enjoyed the first couple of episodes more than I did the last couple.
That's, you know,
Yeah, so you've just contradicted
retrospective.
yourself. Yeah.
No, that's an opinion changing
Christian,
over
can
time.
opinions not change?
To Christian, the opinion he had is always the same.
It's
know?
true because I'm a very consistent person, unlike like you idiots.
No, you aren't.
Oh my god. All right. Well, I think we've covered all the shows then. You know, we've had some well, I guess really we're only saying The Water Magician was an absolute miss in terms of our
That was a
opinions
bust.
change.
Yeah, that was a big buzz.
And you know, I guess maybe we've convinced you, or rather Christian has convinced you to check out Clevatess one day, maybe. But yeah. Other
So
than
I
that,
think
you know.
the natural progression here is I need to watch the Fragrant nonsense, and then I need to watch Kaiju number 8 and Clevatess and City, and I can report back and say whether or not, mainly whether or not Christian's an idiot.
Yeah.
In which way would I be an idiot here?
Because I'm watching 3 of your shows because you've
Oh,
convinced
yeah.
me into it, and I'm only watching 1 of Nick's.
Well,
Because I just
rarely
missed from the beginning, you know.
Well, you swung and a miss on 1, and then there was 1 that you should have just known I would never watch.
Yeah.
It's not that it's
Yeah.
bad, or like it's just not for me.
Yeah.
That makes sense then. Well, fortunately for you, Michael, I'm rarely wrong about these things.
That
so.
is just you're just speaking nonsense.
No.
Ever
I'm
since
known-
you
I'm
started
known for-
talking about Nichijou this episode,
I'm known for being right. That's what people know me for. They're like, Christian, yeah, that's the guy who's right all the time.
Ah, yes.
All right. Well, we'll close things out here. Thank you so much for listening. We will, I guess, be following up one day on all of the homework that was also assigned. You know, we had shows that were also given to us, or to Christian and I, to watch. I guess I will have to revisit my assignment if you listen to our last episode, as I was given the Apothecary Diaries and maybe didn't quite enjoy it. But go check out that episode, and we will catch you in the next one.
Deal.
Bye.